I remember one time JMS put on his Instagram story like a 5 minute, five different stories a rant, right? And I take the time out of my day to listen to it because I know that whenever JMS speaks, it's gonna be valuable. And if you don't know who JMS is, it's John Mark Stevenson. What he talked about was the story of his Lamborghini Urus. That when he was in high school, 18, and then when he was 19, that was his goal. That was his goal. After he bought the Ram TRX, the Urus was the goal, and he really loved that car and wanted it for a long time. He said that when he got it, right, he now has it for like a year or something. He said that just got so used to it. He said that he was happier when he was chasing the car than when he actually got it, which is cool to think about. And so he said that he learned from it that the desire is the goal. The goal is to have such a goal. Basically, the perfect life is to be able to have goals. Like how blessed he said, how blessed am I to have this goal, to be able to work towards my goals. Because once you have a goal, once you have your dream car, for me, it's a Hellcat, right? I know that I'm gonna get used to it within a few months, right? And I know that it's not gonna make me as happy as me chasing, as me making more and more money to be able to afford that car, as me working towards that goal. That now I'm the most fulfilled I'm gonna be until I have that car, and then until I'm gonna have the next goal, right? So the blessing is in having the goal and being able to work towards it and be able to wake up early, being able to take a cold shower and think about that goal. Because once you have the goal, it's kind of like a curse. You're now cursed with having that your previous dream as a commodity. That's a curse. Okay? It's sort of like the thrill of the hunt. I'm going to use an analogy with girls. The most fun experience is actually on going on a first, second, third date with the girl, doing more and more stuff than having her come over at your place. And then when you smash, it's like I kind of want her to go home now, like I kind of want to get rid of her now. It's like, it's not something like a post nut clarity. Or like this whole time you really wanted this girl so much and you really wanted to smash her. And now that you did that, you kind of want her to like go away. And now, if you kind of tell her that you just want to be friends or you don't want to talk anymore, it's gonna seem like you just used her to sleep with her. But it's like genuinely a lot of the attraction goes away, and then after a few days, it might come back or it might not, and you might realize that the thrill was in the hunt, right? Like the most fun part was in getting the girl to sleep with you, and that was the fun in it. Now, obviously, don't become a degenerate and just sleep with 50 different girls, right? Okay, if that's not what you want to do, I do think that that's morally wrong. As a Christian, I do think that that is not the right thing to do. That you should be able to control yourself, even though you have tons of different desires, because not every single desire comes from God. Some desires come from Satan himself, and he put that desire in you to test you. So you have to kind of like be very careful with it, because whenever God puts a desire in you and you think that it's not possible, remember that God would not put a desire so big in your heart that he knew you wouldn't be able to accomplish. But also, some desires that come too easily, some goals, they might be from Satan. So you have to be able to filter out which ones are at your core desires from your heart, or and which ones are shallow desires, like sleeping with a new chick, right? Like that's obviously like the goal is not to sleep with her. The goal is to have kids with her. The goal is to find a good woman to have kids with, to procreate with, right? That's like the desire. Now, obviously, if you want to have kids with multiple chicks, I'll respect that. But it's like you have to find out what you really want, like in the long term. Not that you want to sleep with this girl next week sometime, Like that's like a desire that us 18-year-olds will have. But over time, as soon as you do it enough times, you kind of can realize that I have this desire, but I kind of been here before, and I know that if I ever sleep with this girl, just gonna want to get rid of her. So be very careful with these desires. Another concept that I want to talk about is the purpose of the layers of purpose from Hamza. Hamza explained this in a video very well, that there are a lot of layers of purpose they kind of like peel back. And first one might be 10K a month. Second one might be getting a six pack. For me, it was inverse, right? So the six pack, bro. As soon as I wanted a six pack ever since I was like fucking 15, 16. I started seeing my six pack when I was like early 18 or almost 18. And when I really started seeing my six pack pretty well, I was like, I'm kind of used to it now. It's like it doesn't. As soon as you peel back the layer of purpose, this layer of purpose, you kind of look at how stupid this is. Like just a few muscles that I can see on my abdomen. Like it's not as it's kind of like underwhelming, and it feels unfulfilling. It feels like it's stupid, and you think that the next layer will be it, right? So the next layer of purpose they will peel back will be it. For me, it's the Hellcat, bro. The Hellcat wide body. I'm thinking that car is gonna be so much fucking fun. But I can kind of predict that when I do get the car, and once I drive it for that first month, I'm gonna be like, this is kind of stupid. Like it's just like a normal car with. It's not a normal car, 700 horsepower, but it's just like it's just a fast car, right? I'm gonna get used to it, and I'll see what the next layer of my purpose will be after that. I don't know yet, but I am learning from this past mistake with a six pack that when I do get the Hellcat, I'm not gonna be as happy as I am right now, chasing towards that goals and getting closer to that goal. So as much as fun as the Hellcat I think is gonna be, it's not gonna be as fun as I think it is. It's not gonna be as fun as right now working towards that goal. So I just wanted to implant this kind of like this mindset into you that enjoy the suck. This was another chapter inside of not really a chapter, just a point that David Goggins made in his book, Can't Hurt Me, which I've read cover to cover, and it was an amazing book. I would suggest that you read that book. But one of the points there was enjoy the suck. Enjoy the moment where it sucks, when you really want something but you can't have it, and your life really sucks, right? My life right now is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, but I know that there's gonna be another really shitty period soon, right? So I'm kind of ready to enjoy the suck, and it's really hard because if you can enjoy it, then it doesn't really suck that much. So I know that I'm not gonna be able to enjoy it, but I'm just gonna be happy that it happened, right, in the past. So I don't really know where I wanted to go with this video. I went kind of a little bit all over the place, but I hope that maybe you took some value out of this. They always say it's about the journey out of destination, but I was trying to say it in a different way for us young guys to actually be able to like take it seriously, because I know that I watched this video when I was like fucking 16. I wouldn't have listened to it, so I won't blame those who clicked off. But listen to those who got the thing that you have and how they talk about it. And try to actually listen to it. Don't just say, you're just saying that because he's rich already. But yeah, but he was broke like you. And he says that getting rich was the most fun thing, not being rich. So maybe take the blessings that you have right now and say, how blessed am I that I get to record a video that will get me closer to my goals? That I get to do a podcast next week with a guy with a few 100,000 followers, and I get to learn from him, and I get to post it out, and some people getting value out of it. I'm gonna repurpose it on Instagram Reels, on TikTok, and I'm gonna get closer to my goals. How blessed am I for those things? So just take a minute to count your blessings that you even have the desire, because God wouldn't put that desire in your heart if he knew you couldn't achieve it. So take this blessing, go with it, go enjoy it, be reasonable and have fun, and yeah, God bless you. I'll catch you all on the next one.